diameter before it gets to the cabinet or the IR. That's why the B6 is set up this way on the screen on the iPad, but the and also keep this TC electronic spectrum comp after. This is everything run. My entire board runs through that TC electronic spectrum comp. Pretty much it's at the very end of my signal, even after my looper, because I even run my loops into it because I want my loops to be a little more even, and I don't want them certain things just jumping off too much when I'm looping even. So it's just a good. Compressors are amazing to balance out stuff, and it also makes your amp seem louder. Like it's not even seeming loud. It technically will get a boost with a lot of compressors because they typically will give you a bit of more gain, but um, it's gonna make everything. It's like it's pushing the entire sound forward versus when you use a standard bass amp by itself. It seems like it makes a wider tone. It just makes a tighter sound, and brings up some of the nuances and also brings down certain frequencies that might be overpowering all the other frequencies, which is going to make a huge difference in the mix and how you sound to the crowd. It's a very subtle thing, but it's definitely something that's worth investing into one way or another. If you don't have, um, a lot of times we already have something like a multi effects pedal, so you probably got a compressor on there that you might underutilize, or various forms of, because even this B6 has, and all the Zoom stuff, I have a bunch of compression pedals. It's got an optical compressor on there, this black optical compressor, and I actually like that one as well. I like of course, the Limiter 76, the 160 compressor, and I actually like that glam compressor they got on there as well. Um, MB compressor, the multi-band compressor on the B6, I could live without. I definitely prefer my TC Electronic Spectral Comp as a standalone pedal. Only thing I might only I've been considering getting a analog compressor, but you know a lot of times by the time you get to the music out to folks and all that good stuff, except for live, it's like by the time even live the sound engineers usually are using digital racks. They're not really using all analog compressors and all that. They're using a lot of times they're bringing using digital compressors and digital EQs and all this other stuff on your stuff anyway. So it's like you're never going to get a complete analog path from you directly to the audience. Very rarely, at least. Um, Especially these days, like you gotta record on tape and all this extra stuff. Like it's such a process to do all analog today. I'm not even sure if certain effects. That's why only certain effects I I buy the analog version, like the preamps. I need an analog preamp because it makes an entirely different. It makes a difference in the size and the warmth of my sound versus all analog modulations and stuff like that. It's a lot. It gets to be a lot, especially it gets to be expensive. Gets to be very expensive, but you can get digital emulations of those same effects, and you'll be just fine. I mean, people are not going to know that they're not listening for digital or analog. People are listening if it sounds good, how it makes them feel, things like that. So always keep that in mind. You don't always need the latest, greatest gear. You more so need to be able to translate your sound that you hear in your head through your fingers and out to the audiences the best way possible, whether digital, analog, whatever does that, gets that to you is what you want to go with. Analog compressors, like I said, the Cali 76 one is like $350. It's very expensive. The Empress compressor one is expensive. All the analog compressors are going to run you as much as you would pay for a preamp or something. Like you talking about the AG and the Magellan are both 300. This is 400. So you want to mitigate costs somewhere. That's why I use these Zoom pedals because they sound really good. and they're very flexible, meaning I can have them at various points on my pedal board here and here, and I'm swapping out. I got 10 between the two of them. That's 10 effects slots that I can manipulate things and change without ever changing my pedal board. As long as I have those placed strategically throughout my pedal board, I can easily swap in and out effects without ever adding any new effects pedals. You know, so that's something to think about as well. With the digital compressors, do you want to, you know, do you actually need a separate analog compressor? Because I mean, I really don't. I even my Spectra comp, that's a digital compressor, but it allows me to. It's really small. Is and it's one of my favorite compressors in general. Even on the actual TC Electronic Spectra comp on the actual head, that's my actual favorite compressor. It sounds different than the one on the pedal, so unfortunately, but yeah, I love that's my favorite compressor is the one that's on that head, that big red head there, you know. But let's um let's go through the Aguilar real quick, and then we'll go through the SUT, and then we'll get out of here, guys. So here's without anything on. It's just the AG head with the 160 compressor. 160 compressor running into the AG head. Right? And here's the AG head running into the TC Electronic Spectracomp. And here is the AG head running into the AG preamp running into the 1176 style limiter. So you got to kind of pick where you want to do your compression at there. And I just ran back through at the end there, the last few seconds there. I was running through all three scenarios. So you can pick whether you want to compress at the end of your chain, whether you want to have a multi-band compressor or a full band compressor. Um, Let me see. I got an Eden down here. So this Eden has its own compressor. So this is what the Eden sounds like. Eden WTDI. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. This is. I don't know if you guys can even see that.